All right, everyone. Today was absolutely wild. I told you that the market would be nervous about non-farm payrolls and unemployment, and the market is preparing itself for what could come out of that. So we got tomorrow at 8:30 non-farm payrolls. We really want to watch that number come in strongly. Hopefully, we have about mid-100,000s positive or plus from there, up from there. Anything like that is good. 4.2 for unemployment, 4.2% or below. Excellent. Okay all day. The market's probably going to be just fine. However, we go up to 4.3 or higher from there for unemployment. Market's probably going to not like that at all, and maybe we go and close that gap on the Qs down to the 200-day. Guys, I'm going to give you the technicals of what to watch out for tomorrow when we get those results from non-farm payrolls and unemployment, where we could potentially go from here. And if you guys want to see more of my commentary, check out the link in the description for the Discord. I'll tell you more about that later and how you can save 50% off your first month when you use the code word doctor. So let's pop this up here for you. And we got QQQ on the screen for you right now. And I got to tell you, the two things that I really want you to pay attention to, let me really stretch this out. This dotted line going right across the top of the high price of 533.05, and then this low price that we had down here of 522.66. That low price went right across the most recent resistance that we had that got turned into support before recovering up above the 5 EMA. And that's important because that means that the market is ready to be nimble, more nimble than the Fed, I might add, in reacting to the data that we get, and whether we get recessionary news and the market sells back down, or if we get news that says, hey, recession's not here yet, we don't have weakness in the labor market that can be that big scary thing. Plus, these are the last two non-farm payroll and unemployment rate reports, I should say last ones of each, last two reports in terms of the labor market for the big ones anyway, that we get before that Fed meeting about 2 weeks away from right now. Now, I talked about closing a gap. There's a gap down here that we left a long time ago. It goes all the way down to 493 and then goes all the way up to 501. So if we get recessionary type news, if we get really scary labor market news, well, we can fall down through, watch the 5 and the 13, which is, as a matter of fact, we should watch 5, 13, 15. That's a lot of 5s and 13s down here, as that's a Fibonacci extension level from the last run that we had from a major low to the last market all-time high back in, I believe it was either January or February. I'd have to go back and look to see exactly when that was, but that actually is a good time to look at this top line that's up here for you that happened to be at that 533.05 number that's on here for you, because that actually goes back to where I said we could revisit, which is this middle point right in here in between the two peaks, the last all-time high, or I should say two all-time highs ago, and the most recent one, which happened to be middle of February, about February the 19th. 533 was the exact value high price. We beat that by a nickel and then sold off wildly. And I said I wasn't able to trade in the market right around that noon time, but that's when we got that triple top right at 533.05 is where we peaked out. And then this thing ripped down about $11, $10 or $11 from that point in time, in ZTEs, and my goodness, DTEs would have paid off absolutely beautifully from there. I did do some live trading with Mo. A little bit of a nuanced time during that time. Ended that trading right before the last rip down. What a time to end it, I'll tell you what. I did say during that live stream, though, available over at the Discord, that's where it was pushed out only to Discord members that are over there. I did say there's a big move coming. Be watching for it. It could happen any moment now. We ended the stream, and just as we were ending it, ripped. I mean, man, that thing went right down just in time for me to, well, not be able to set up my order. So you win some, you lose some, you miss some, and that's about as best I can say for that. As we get over into the SPY, I marked the high and the low for that one. Low going back into this area of chop where we had all these previous highs and all this mixed candle, green and red, and we closed just south of the 5 EMA. Once again, ready to be nimble for whatever news we get tomorrow. We do want to watch 599. I believe that we will beat 600 if we get good news for labor market strength, and if instead we get bad news for labor market strength saying, hey, this whole tariff situation, the economy is not as good as we thought. If instead it shows us stuff that's strongly recessionary, that 382 down here at 587 will likely be retested and potentially broken. We definitely want to be watchful for that. IWM, once again, I'm leaning towards that bullish news. I hope we get it. Still down below its 200-day. Having neckline right across 210. Haven't been able to break it, but this is something I'm absolutely watching for, because if we can, if the markets do continue to be bullish, there's that price tag of 248, which is just shy of 20% to the upside. That's something I'm really, really hoping plays out for us, because if we can get on top of that neckline, if we get bullish news about the markets, I am absolutely jumping into a long play on that. And hopefully we get a more dovish Fed. We'll wait and see what we get between the Trump appeal with the tariff situation and also the Fed and also the labor market reports. There's a lot riding on what's right now. And that's why we got these mega red candles today in the Qs and at SPY, and a lot of the indecision with the small caps today. You can see just how narrow that was, that nobody really knew exactly what to do about them, didn't really move too much, although it did outperform the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500. So there's a lot to say about that. Bitcoin, worried about the risk assets. I said, watch this trend line. I said it this morning. Let me take that back down. There we go. Now I can move this thing more freely. I said about this head and shoulders, watch out if we break the neckline. It looks like we came down so far pretty much to the 50 EMA that's on here. We're down below the 5 and the 13. I said, watch those rejections. We could sell down further, and so we did. And so we'll watch where we go from now. Testing about that $100,000 mark. We might sell down as low as 598, 597. We'll have to watch what happens through the nighttime as I'm on the East Coast here in the United States. With that, Ethereum also moving down in sympathy with Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market. Notice we're down in that support area. Bitcoin's not away from that support area. Everything from the indices that I just showed you into the major cryptos that we have over here is sweating that news tomorrow for what exactly we could get. We absolutely want to be watchful. Even for XRP, you can see down in the support area that's right here. And SOL, you may not be SOL with this one. Look, I said about this support at 143.30, and that support so far got tested at 143.02 before bouncing back up. We'll see if that holds. If not, there's that 120 to 110. So guys, we have a lot of reason right now. I should say the market has a lot of reason to have that uncertainty that it does. And of course, it's going to sell down under that uncertainty because it wants to be ready to get a good position up or down. So it's going to sort of go mid-ground, if you will, leading into tomorrow at 8:30. That should be the major catalyst that we're really watching for telling us the next direction that the market's going to go. This thing could whip your head around and we could flip majorly bullish from here, or it could be one of those things that changes the overall sentiment that we have in the markets, and instead of having it cautiously bullish, it turns into one that's decidedly bearish. I want to wait and see till tomorrow at 8:30 to see what exactly takes place with that. And if you guys want to see the trades that I've made in accordance with playing something like this, a day like today, over at the Discord, links in the description. Code word doctor when you sign up is going to save you 50% off the first month. There's a whole team of experts over there ready to assist you and support you in your journey towards financial freedom and building alpha in your portfolio. Whether you like to trade stocks, options, do investing, crypto, you name it, it's over there. It's waiting for you, as well as the bread bot, which can tell you when the big moves are coming up or down, advanced charting tools, AI tools. This Discord, I'm telling you, it has it all. Code word doctor when you sign up for the earner tier. Also, if you want to learn about trading options, and if you really want to learn about the impact that the technicals that I talk out have and how you can use them to benefit yourself, and how to get access to the bread recipe trading strategy details, the coursework through Stockmo Academy. He's a personal friend of mine, known him for the last 17 years, and we really lean heavily into this finance stuff. Him with his master's degree in business administration, having been a former financial advisor, coming here to YouTube, been around for a long time now. I'm partnered up with him over at that Discord as well. I'm one of the experts that you guys can find over there. He and Mrs. Mo put courses together for technical analysis, for options trading. Code word doctor is going to work on those for giving you a massive discount as well. Same code word as for the Discord that I talked about earlier. Bundling the courses is going to save you the most, and it's probably going to be the best investment that you can put towards yourself, especially if you're interested in trading in the markets and really leaning in towards financial freedom and building alpha in your portfolios. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning. I'll see you next video.